In our news video, we talk about a whole range of exciting topics, including some big news about DC, a fresh announcement about the upcoming Dune series, plus details about the future of the controversial She-Hulk series. At the beginning of October, we reported on the signing of 2 leading actresses for the upcoming series Dune: The Sisterhood, and now a new cast member has joined the prequel. The talk is of Indira Varma, who became known to a larger audience through Game of Thrones and the British TV series Paranoid, to name but a few. In Dune: The Sisterhood, she plays Empress Natalia, who, strictly speaking, is not part of the 2012 book by Brian Herbert, the son of Dune creator Frank Herbert. There, the Empresses Tabrina and Orenna make an appearance, and it is assumed that Natalia will be a composite of both characters. She is presumably married to Emperor Salvador I or his predecessor Jules from the Carino line, depending on what the series creators decide on and whether she is based more on Tabrina or Orenna. Since the new character, Natalia, is described as extremely formidable in her appearance, we imagine that she will be closer to Orenna in terms of plot, since her husband Jules died in the course of the story, making her the rightful empress. Either way, it will be interesting to see how this new character will find her way in the Dune universe. The series is set just about 10,000 years before the film series and focuses on 2 Harkonnen sisters who found a sisterhood that later becomes the Bene Gesserit. Swedish Chernobyl director Johan Renck has been hired to direct the first 2 episodes of Dune: The Sisterhood, while Empire producer Diane Ademo-John will take over as showrunner. We are looking forward to receiving more news, but unfortunately, a release date is still unknown. Shooting of the upcoming Indiana Jones 5 has been wrapped up since February, and now it is being reported that leading man Harrison Ford is in talks for his next role. Almost 56 years after his screen debut, the meanwhile 80-year-old is to portray a character in the MCU, namely that of General Thaddeus Ross. The U.S. Air Force Lieutenant General is a talented tactician, and his skills mainly include leading military units in tricky situations. The character made his first MCU movie appearance back in 2008's The Incredible Hulk, where he took military action against Bruce Banner. Ross was last seen in Black Widow, where he was played by William Hurt, just as before. Unfortunately, William Hurt passed away earlier this year, leaving the role vacant and now to be filled by Harrison Ford, as has been officially confirmed. Thus, the rumors of last month are true that Ford is the desired cast for this role. As Deadline and others report, Ford is now assuming the role of General Ross for the first time in Captain America: New World Order, and is expected to reprise it later in Thunderbolts. In addition, the continuation of the film character increases the likelihood that the Red Hulk will also be established in the MCU. After all, not only is he Bruce Banner's greatest enemy, but also none other than General Ross himself. We are eagerly awaiting official news and are looking forward to Captain America: New World Order on May 3rd, 2024, as well as Thunderbolts on July 26, 2024. By the way, the filming of Captain America 4 will start in early 2023, so Ford doesn't have that much time left to get ready. This week, there was a true sensation at DC, with The Hollywood Reporter announcing a whole series of new projects. The highlight is certainly a Man of Steel sequel, which has been a big dream for many fans for many years. Henry Cavill has played the role of the alien superhero in 3 DCEU films, and rumor has it that the 39-year-old's return to a starring role is more likely than ever. It has been rumored for years that he will embody Superman once again, especially since he himself didn't mince his words when asked for his opinion, as the character lies very close to his heart. Now, under the direction of Justice League producer Charles Roven, a screenwriter is being sought, as is a director who would like to handle the directing. Christopher McQuarrie is particularly high up on the list of possible contenders, although at this time he has his hands full with Mission Impossible 7 and 8, making a take on the project rather unlikely. Speaking of time, Henry Cavill also has a packed schedule at the moment, which is mainly down to his leading role in the Witcher series. If many substantial rumors are to be believed, Cavill will be making at least a cameo appearance in Black Adam, which hit theaters on October 21st. In fact, Dwayne Johnson did not grow tired of mentioning his fellow actor and his character at every opportunity during the hot promo phase of Black Adam. Johnson also wishes for a Black Adam vs. Superman movie in which the two clash, something that is said to have been obstructed under departing DC boss Walter Hamada so far. Regardless, a Black Superman movie is also believed to be in the works under production by J.J. Abrams. The Hollywood Reporter further talked about Matt Reeves and his plans for the expansion of the Batman universe. So far, we know about the Batman 2 and an Arkham Asylum, as well as a Penguin series. But the plans won't stop there. Reeves is currently looking for screenwriters and directors to produce further movie spin-offs from the world of Gotham City. Among them should also be rather unknown but bizarre characters such as Clayface, Scarecrow, or Professor Pig. Assuming that these movies will be as gloomy as the Batman, we can look forward to some very unsettling flicks. Professor Pig in particular will live up to his name, as he enjoys kidnapping people to turn them into slaves and human-animal hybrids by means of cruel operations. Besides various Batman projects, the completion of the script for Wonder Woman 3 is also imminent. An additional key player in future DC films is the Suicide Squad director James Gunn. Together with Aquaman and Shazam producer Peter Safran, he will soon be working on a new DC project, although at present he is still busy finishing Peacemaker Season 2. What kind of future project it will be, and if there is any connection to the Suicide Squad, is unfortunately unclear. News on a possible The Flash sequel is also available. After leading actor Ezra Miller accumulated one scandal after the other over a long period of time, he recently returned to the set for reshoots and has publicly apologized. The script for a sequel is reported to have already been completed by Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom author David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick. The only question remaining is whether Miller will also star in the sequel. So far, Warner Brothers has stood by Miller in spite of his escapades, yet the 30-year-old is still awaiting trial in January for burglary, which could even send him to prison should he be found guilty. So it remains exciting at DC and Warner Brothers. At least, there are now some movies and series in the works that fans can look forward to after the strategic realignment under Warner CEO David Zaslav and the cancellation of Batgirl and Scoob 2. Since August, the new She-Hulk series has been available on Disney+. Before its release, the series made negative headlines due to a trailer with bad CGI, and thus the signs were anything but good, as is now reflected in the viewer ratings. While many critics liked at least a few aspects of the series, the opinions of the majority of MCU fans were anything but positive. Overall, without going into detail, we must admit that the general reception is mediocre at best. Now the big question is, what's next for She-Hulk and title character Jennifer Walters after the brilliant finale? If we look at the general series policy within the MCU, it is noticeable that only very few series actually get the chance for a second season, including the beloved Loki series, for example. Even lead actress Tatiana Maslany considers the chance for a second season to be slim, as she recently acknowledged in an interview with Extra. Internally, she had not heard anything about a second season. Likewise conceivable, and in our view, not unlikely, is an appearance of Jennifer Walters, aka She-Hulk, in one of the upcoming Marvel movies, perhaps even with her cousin Bruce Banner or her ex-client Abomination. One possible appearance would be in Captain America: New World Order, since actor Tim Blake Nelson also shows up there as leader. At the moment, we unfortunately have little choice but to resort to speculations, so we hope to get an official announcement from Marvel very soon. What are your thoughts on the She-Hulk series? Do you like the new MCU character? And would you consider watching a second season? Or are you among the fans who were let down by the performance? Feel free to let us know in the comments. With The Equalizer, a rather brutal and emotional blockbuster, was released in 2014 with Denzel Washington in the leading role. Even though the 4 years later released sequel could not build on its popular predecessor without flaws, a third film was commissioned right away. Last month, director Antoine Fuqua revealed that in The Equalizer 3, we will learn more about the past of the main character, Robert McCall. In addition, there will be a change of scenery, as most of the action will now take place in Europe, more precisely in Italy. Will McCall have to deal with the Cosa Nostra this time? Well, as of this week, there are at least first images from the set on the picturesque Amalfi Coast, where filming is currently underway. In addition to Washington, co-stars Dakota Fanning and Gaia Scodelario can both be seen as well. Returning director Antoine Fuqua also made sure to pose with his actors in the snapshots. So far, so good. However, the images do not allow us to draw any conclusions about the storyline, as there are no known shots of the appearing characters yet. So, for the time being, we will have to wait for more information about the plot, and a release date has unfortunately not been set either. Are you thrilled about the latest MCU and DC developments, or are you more curious about what's going to happen on the desert planet? Well, if none of that's enough for you, we've got you covered. Check out our brand new Deadpool 3 movie preview and get excited for some anti-hero action. As always, enjoy watching, and we hope to see you next week.